Shalom, shalom. All right, you brothers, let us know if you can hear us, if you can see us. Shalom, and let us know if you can hear us and see us. Oh, she'll be good, man. All right. All right. Well, shalom, brothers. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders millstone. Double honor to our apostles and elders great millstone. Still rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom. The name of this lesson is entitled Understanding 70 AD. Okay? You need to understand what happened during 70 AD to really understand the Bible. Okay? Just like they say, you need to understand your past in order to understand the future. If you don't understand your history, you're bound to repeat it. All right? So these are things that you need to know. All right? It's very essential in this thing. You got it out.
And if I can say, Esau likes to push Black History Month on Jake, and cap off your history, man. 400 years ago, man. But our history goes back thousands of years, man. And just like the elder said, it's important to understand the Bible, understand the prophecies, man. Understand who you are, man. And we're gonna go to the curses, because 70 AD was one of the curses for our disobedience, man.
That's right.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 49. It said, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Yeah, because you got certain cats, they'll break that down as it's talking about the Edomites that enslaved us here in America. Saying how Esau came to West Africa, we were sold as slaves, and they brought us over on slave ships. Now that did happen, but that prophecy right there isn't talking about that. It's talking about the Romans. Okay? And the Romans, they spoke Latin. Okay? It's talking about the Romans, and hey, they put us in slavery. We was paying tribute to them. So that's what it's talking about, man. And the symbol of Rome is the eagle. All right? But see, Rome, they were widely known for their military might. That's why they're those legs of iron, like you read about in the book of Daniel. But that's who it's talking about. It's talking about the Romans. Okay, not the Americans. Go ahead up.
Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
Yeah, you seen that during 70 AD. They didn't give a damn. They walled Jerusalem off, and they didn't care who was up in there, man. It was old men, old women, young babies, okay? Women that were giving suck, breastfeeding their, sons and daughters. Esau didn't give a damn. He made them starve out. All right? There you got it.
If I could say, them zealots actually armed women and children and made them fight with them, man. You think the Romans gave a damn? They seen that little boy with a spear, or that woman or a young woman with a bow and arrow, man. They didn't regard nothing, man.
Yeah, and it's, a good thing the brother had mentioned those zealots. Because, see, when you read about what our Lord said, and which we're going to get those scriptures, basically, man, hey, it's all about the followers of YAHAWASHI at the end of the day, man. See, Jake, they come in that, we call it a militant spirit. And you see it today among Israel. These different groups that's all about guns and, they want to pull up and pretty much show what they can do. These are the zealots coming back, and we understand that. So we're not all messed up, when we see Jake doing what they do. Now, we get on Jake, but these guys, they can't help themselves, man. They're those zealots coming back. And you're going to get what you want. Oh, you better believe it. You will get what you want, man. You want all that attention, because you guys just can't simply just teach the word, but that's your spirit. That's the spirit the Lord got on you to be carnal, because y'all those zealots. But that's who was mainly fighting against the Roman government the zealots of Israel, okay? Not the followers of YAHAWASHI. I got to repeat that again. Not the followers of YAHAWASHI. But we get into this, you know, which it was the brother's idea for his lesson. We get into this because when you read in Matthew 24 and Luke 21, there were certain prophecies that happened back then during 70 AD, and those other prophecies, they're happening now. They're about to happen now. Mm-hmm. All right? Because 70 AD, that was Jacob's trouble too. But see, this time, hey, this is going to be the full thing, man. This the complete fulfillment of Jacob's trouble in this time. You know, showing you that it's not over yet. All right? But you got it, brother.
Come, verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kin, or flocks of thy sheep, until you have destroyed thee.
That's what the Romans did. When you go back into the scriptures, everything changed when Jerusalem was destroyed. When they took down our temple, they raided our temple. Okay, they marched through our land. They destroyed all our crops. Okay. Hey, well, the Lord said they wouldn't leave one stone upon another. They took down everything, and you can't even find records of those different things today, man. Okay, so everything was changed during that time. That was that falling away first. That was the beginning of it. The beginning of the falling away first. You know, and since that time, things haven't been the same, man. But that's why, you know, this truth is called the new song. The Lord said he would give us his new name, because when 70 AD happened, the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, during that time, we lost everything, man. Since that time, you haven't had righteous men rising up and preaching the word. You haven't had prophets. You haven't heard this truth like you're hearing it now. Okay? So it's renewed to you. It's new all over again. Yeah. Like the brother just said, man, Esau said that we messing up his Black History Month. Hey, man, fuck Black History Month, man. You know? Hey, that's some bullshit. Hey, that's Esau giving you a cookie. You know what I'm saying? We'll say, well, you should be recognized for your great achievements here in this land. You overcame. Yeah. We ain't overcome nothing. We still here. You know, and you try that, man. You're going to be a docile slave that's going to die here in America. All right? It's time to get the hell up out of here. But see, knowledge is power. You know? It begins with the knowledge of salvation, man. You need the knowledge of salvation before you can gain salvation itself. Okay? But going back to the point, this is talking about the Romans, man. What the Romans did to us. Okay? You got it out.
Verse 2. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustedest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord, YAHAWASHI, thy power, have given thee.
Yeah. Basically, it was a military blockade. You know? And just like we speak about it today, man, Esau, he'll shut a city off, you know, and he's going to do it in the hour of martial law, you know, make checkpoints, you know, completely block a city off. And the elder Yakal told us about that, how, you know, the military, you know, they could pretty much, you know, drop off some cinder blocks, man, and just cut off the highways. You know, they're going to be doing stuff like that. But going back during this time, in 70 AD, they did that with the technology they had back during that time. You know, so pretty much they wouldn't let anything come in Jerusalem or go out Jerusalem. Okay? And our people, they starved to death, and they committed cannibalism, a lot of them. You know, that's what happened, man. Okay? But see, you need to understand this so you can understand we're dealing with the same people today. The same spirit of those people are back today, because those people are back. The Edomites are still here. Okay? Go ahead out.
Verse 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body.
Oh,
what you just said.
Yeah.
The flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord, YAHAWASHI, have given thee in the siege.
There was a siege. The siege of Jerusalem. Okay? The destruction of Jerusalem. What Esau calls the Roman Jewish wars from 66 AD to 70 AD. All right? Go ahead out.
And it says, and in the straightness wherewith thy enemy shall disgrace thee.
Yeah, man. But you know what? It's something though. Because see, hey, Jake is carnal as hell, man. Jake is carnal as hell. Here it is. YAHAWASHI told you what to do, told you to be spiritual, told you to get the hell up out of there. You know, we gonna get it. You know, we just gonna get it, man. But Jake didn't listen. And the main guys that didn't listen are those zealots. And these same guys that get mad at us today when we curse them out and tell them, don't film yourself at a gun range. Or pull up in front of Magic City cussing out strippers. What the hell is that gonna do, man? Don't go in front of the White House. Hey, that you being carnal, man. Just go to the chief place of concourse and teach the word. But once again, these men can't help themselves because those are the zealots coming back. You know? Hey, and Jake want to make fun of me and shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you gonna get us killed? Well, nigga, you are. Which, hey, we ready to die anyway. But see, it shows you the stupidity of the people of our nation, man. You know? Here it is, you being carnal, you doing shit that you really don't need to do, even though it was set up in the spirit, but you doing that, you don't realize you're dragging in the whole nation with you. Because when Jacob's trouble comes in its fullness, when the persecution hit, Esau coming for everybody. So these Jakes, man, they can front to you brothers and sisters out there and act like they all down. These niggas gonna fold, okay? It's always the guys that really act like they want the smoke that don't want it, man. And those of us that ain't looking for it, we gonna be able to deal with it, cause we just doing this. But the brother, he about to get the prophecy. The brother about to get the prophecy on what the Lord said what would happen. Okay, go ahead out.
This is the book of St. Luke, chapter 21, verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter into.
Yeah, so the Lord told us what to do. He gave us specific instructions on how to deal with these times, man. Okay, you have what's called the McRib. Well, you know, Jake want to make because Jake's eating McDonald's. It's not McRib, it's McRib, which basically is northwestern Africa. In so many words, that's what the Lord told them to do. Flee there. Flee to northwestern Africa, because we already had people in North Africa anyway. But yeah, we had Israelites all over North Africa. Okay, we were in Alexandria, Egypt. You had the Alexandrian Jews there. You know, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. All right. Hey, man, you had different Israelites that were in Libya. Okay. And you can read about Simon of Cyrene. That's the man that helped the Lord cross. So we were all over North Africa. So the Lord told us to flee to the mountains, which when you look at North Africa, North and West Africa, that's a mountainous region. Okay. So that's what it was talking about, man. He told us to get the hell up out of there. And the only ones that really listen are the disciples. The zealots didn't listen. They wanted to stay there and fight. And they got put to death, man.
And then you go into the history. All right. The reason why YAHAWASHI would tell them just leave, because it had got so bad that those people were starving within inside the walls of Jerusalem. And when they tried to sneak out, the Romans would catch them and crucify them, man. So you were stuck. If you didn't leave, your option was you were gonna starve to death, or you was gonna die with one of the niggas in there, or you could try to leave and get crucified by the Romans, man.
Yeah.
That's why YAHAWASHI just said, get the fuck. He said, wherever you at, just go. You know, if you out in the field hunting, if you out fishing, you know, if you at work, you know, and you see Jerusalem, them legions coming to Jerusalem, get the hell up out of there, man.
Yeah, that's some fucked up options, man. You starve to death. The zealots will force you to fight, because they were forcing Jake to fight, man. You know, the Israelites that stayed, them zealot niggas, you know, wanting to force Jake to fight, and if they wouldn't fight, they put him to death or imprison him. And then, like you said, if you want to escape, you starve to death, you trying to escape, the Romans catch you, you get crucified. That's what Jake had to deal with, man. You know, so you have to understand this. This is pinnacle for you to understand what's about to happen right now. That's why you saw what happened during that time. Now, what's about to happen now, this is the worst time in history, man. This is the very worst because the last time. It's the last time this is gonna happen. So this time Esau, he about to go all out. But the point is, sticking to the point, this talking about 70 AD, man. In particular. Okay? Go ahead out.
Verse 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people, and they shall fall.
Yeah. Because if you got a woman that's breastfeeding, if she's not able to drink water and get food, she's going to starve to death, and the baby's going to starve to death. Because she needs to have those vital nutrients in her body, in order for her to breastfeed, you know? So, I mean, and this is all going to happen again. It's all going to happen again. But see, brothers and sisters don't got to worry about that. You know, but you need to understand what happened during this time. You know, and see, if you don't understand what happened in AD, it's easy for you to believe what Esau tells you. You know, Esau saying that we're Africans, you know, we're black, we're colored. They call us everything under the sun, man. You know, and dealing with you other tribes, you know, actually when 70 AD took place, you were already over here in the Americas. You know, but you still need to know about this too.
This your history.
Yep. It's your history. That's why when you come into the truth, even if you're Northern Kingdom, guess what? You still celebrate Hanukkah. All right, and Hanukkah, that's in the book of Maccabees. Now it was mainly dealing with Judah, Benjamin, Levi, but guess what? Now it pertains to all the tribes. Okay, Purim, going back during the time of Esther. You know, it was mainly Judah, Benjamin, Levi dealing with that. But guess what? Purim, which means lots. It means, you know, casting of lots. Guess what? That's a part of your high holy days. You're supposed to celebrate that too. So it's not a black thing. It's an Israelite thing. You know, it doesn't matter what tribe you're from. You know? But going back to this, man, like the brother had said, the Lord told them to get the hell up out of there, man. It's going to be great distress upon his people because Esau don't give a fuck, man. The so-called white man, he's a beast. And it told you back in Genesis, he was the most base out of all the beasts of the earth. Okay? The lowest out of all of them. That's why he's called a serpent. You know? It's not an actual snake, man. He has snake-like tendencies. He has a double tongue. Esau, he'll lie to you quick and put you to death, man. You know? And he's still doing it. But see, when he goes in this time, it's going to be crazy, man. You know? But see, we're going into this because we're showing you through the spirit. You can't fight this man carnally. You know, we're going to get the history on showing you how dealing with these Zillite niggas, they got Jake fucked up, man. You know, pretty much. They got Jake messed up. But then when you think about it, between the time frame, or the timeline, rather, of when the Lord was telling the disciples this, up until when 70 AD happened, that's really not a long time. You know? That's not long. About 40 years later, it all happened, man. Okay, you got it out.
And I made the point, like Elder Pastor Hart always say, you know, we going through this as well, so you don't bug out when this happened, man. When this 70 AD happened again to Jake, that's why I have to be emotionally attached to these niggas, man, and these people, man, that love this world, man. The Lord finna do them something bad, man. You know, don't bug out when you see what the Lord finna do to Israel, because it's all ordained by him, man.
Yep, it's all predestinated. You know, because anything or everything that happens, it was supposed to happen. You know, but you got it out.
Verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So the Lord told you, you know, what was going to happen, and then he told you, you know, the future beyond that. Okay? You Jakes, man, going back during this time, you fell by the edge of the sword. And then Esau led you away captive to all nations, man. And mainly, you know that, you know, the different tribes, they went into North Africa and West Africa. You know, predominantly Judah, Benjamin, Levi, because that's who was in Jerusalem during the time of our Lord. They got led away captive to all nations, man. You know, the transatlantic slave trade, not to mention you have what's called the Arab slave trade, when Ishmael was selling us to the east. So the Lord told you everything that would happen. Then he jumped further, you know, into this time right now, saying how Jerusalem's being trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles is fulfilled, meaning it's the end of their rulership. Now, who's over there in the land of Israel today? The fake Jews, Amalek. And, you know, those lies ain't making it anymore, man. You know, we know it's bullshit because why? Like brothers getting into, we understand 70 AD. And it wasn't them, man. That was us. You know, they was back there, but they was calling themselves Herodians, you know.
And what we doing through the Spirit, you know, starting back to Deuteronomy, the curses and the blessings and the curses that that Moses told the children of Israel would happen. You know, we fast forward to the times of the Romans, the actual 70 AD, you know, and we're going to fast forward all the way to today, man. We giving you your timeline of how you got in America today. Why you in Atlanta, Georgia on Martin Luther King Street, man? We're giving you the timeline to that, man. And if I can make a point, the people that fled to North Africa, then migrated to West Africa, you know, they had a time, you know, where they had different setups, man. You know, different civilizations. But the ones, see, the Romans killed a lot of the Jews, but the ones that they captured, they started selling them into slavery right after 70 AD, man.
Yeah, it was directly.
Yep. So you had, you know, those Romans selling slaves, you know, throughout their empire. You know, and then you had the what later come on was the transatlantic, man. So our people was constantly being scattered and sold into slavery, man. Yeah, because that was, I wouldn't say the exact, well, it was the beginning of the diaspora during that time. You know, because if you want to go into, you know, technicalities with the diaspora, when you go back to the Babylonian Empire, Medo-Persian Empire, and Greek Empire, you know, we were scattered during those empires. But when you go to this right here, what the brothers getting into, you know, it's 70 AD. The Romans, they were making us slaves directly, and they were selling, and we got the history on it. We gonna get it for you, you know. But the brother got something here dealing with Simon. When you read the scriptures, he's called Simon the Canaanite. He wasn't a Canaanite, you know. That's a mistranslation. That word for Canaanite in the Hebrew, it goes back to a zealot. Okay, so he was called Simon the Zealot, which he was spiritual. He wasn't, you know, carnal like them niggas was back then, because he came into the truth. He followed YAHAWASHI. He was born again.
Yep, he was born again. We got some information.
All right, this is from the latterrainpage.com, and this is on Simon the Zealot. It says Simon Zelotes called the Zealot, was one of the 12 disciples. Simon had the words the Zealot added to his name. It helped to distinguish him from Simon Peter and showed that he was a member of the organization called the Zealots. The Zealots were the political, violently anti-Roman wing of the Pharisees. Simon may have been 40 years old when he became a disciple. At first, he may have thought YAHAWASHI would lead an uprising to get rid of the Romans ruling their land. It turned out that YAHAWASHI changed him. He had been a man of violence and became a man of peace. YAHAWASHI knew that the Zealots and publicans were bitter enemies. One group worked against the Romans and the other for them. Even so,
hey, but you know what? The Lord is so beautiful. You got a balance of men in the truth. Going back during this time, you had Simon the Zealot and you had Matthew the publican. Right, so one was against Rome and one worked for Rome. You know, but at the end of the day, hey, we come from all walks of life, man. You know?
It said YAHAWASHI knew that the Zealots and publicans were bitter enemies. One group worked against the Romans, the other for them. Even so, YAHAWASHI chose a disciple from both groups. They became friends in his work. Simon was a co-worker of Jude or Thaddeus. They traveled together in Mesopotamia, which both were martyred.
Yeah. So they taught the word in Iraq. All right. Because guess what? You had Israelites in Iraq, and they still over there. You got Israelites everywhere, man. Go ahead out.
Variously conjectured to have preached and to have been crucified while preaching at Ashkenaz in Lower Egypt.
Yeah. Hey, so and Israelites were there. Okay. But going back, like I said, you had the diaspora that took place during the Babylonian Empire. Israel got scattered. So you got Israelites over there in Iraq, man. So the word was being preached there. He was teaching Israelites in Egypt. Going back during the Greek Empire, you know, you had Ptolemy, which controlled Egypt. You had Israelites down there, man. You know, and this helps you understand who those Gentiles are when you read the New Testament. Those are Israelites. That's why the Lord, hey, when he arose from the dead, he said, go ye out and preach the word to all nations. Not to all nations, but to the Israelites among all nations. Okay? And they did this immediately after the Lord went back to the heavens. But see, after that, after all that took place, after the book of Acts, 70 AD came, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
He was also said to have preached the gospel in Mauritania, Africa, and even in Britain, in which latter country he was crucified AD 74.
You brothers, hey man, do yourself a favor. You know, because it's a faith booster. Look up where Mauritania is on the map. Hey, just go to Google Images. We all got phones now. Go to Google Images and look up Mauritania. Where it's located at. Mauritania is in West Africa. That's northwestern Africa. You know, so you had Israelites there. That's why Simon the Zealot was teaching out there. You know, and later afterwards he got crucified. But just showing you, we already had people out there in North Africa and Northwest Africa. We had people there. That's why the Lord told us to go there.
I don't know if brothers will be able to see it. But this is it. Mauritania, Africa. And you see it's right down the west coast. So you had an actual disciple preaching, all right, in Africa, man. You see? So you see the migration of Israel from Jerusalem, all right, and they start migrating south, you know, and west into Africa, man. You know? So we're giving you the timeline, showing you how we got to where we at today, man. You know, and it all started with 70 AD, man. That's a pinnacle, all right, part of history that you must understand to understand the Bible, man. You know?
That's it, man. I mean, that's just it. You know? Can you get something else for me, Baba Kushai? Can you give me Luke 19? Because it matches up with what you had just read.
Come. Let me start this.
It's 19 and verse 41.
All right, this is the book of St. Luke, chapter 19. All right, verse 41. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, saying, if thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thine eyes.
Meaning you have no idea what's about to happen to you. Okay, if you only knew. Go ahead.
For the days shall come upon thee that thy enemy shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round about and keep thee in on every side.
What you had said. They walled Jerusalem. Nothing can get in, nothing can get out. You know?
Verse 44. And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knowest not the time of thy visitation. And he went into the temple and began to cast out them that sold therein, and them that bought.
Kind. Yeah, man. So that speaks for itself, you know? That speaks for itself, man. You know, but hey, you brothers, you need to understand this because we're about to come into some bad times, man. You know, so this is going to help us cope with it, understanding that this has happened before. Now, even though it's going to be on a higher level in this time, you know, hey, we've seen this before, man. We've seen this before, okay? But basically, we're about to get some, you know, some books for you brothers, a little information, man. Is something you want to get first, or?
No, you get what you get, bro. Yeah, that's going to be later on after you.
Now, what we're going to do, we're going to show you brothers, you know, how we got in North and West Africa, okay? How we got there in the first place, which once again, we were already there, going back to, you know, older captivities, you know, and then Israel liked to travel anyway, you know, so it was Israelites already in North Africa and also in Northwest Africa. But in particular, after 70 AD, that's when the bulk of us, you know, went in there. And we also went in Europe, you know, and we also went to Asia, you know. But I have the book here. It's called A History of the Jewish People. Okay? And it's by Max L. Margulis and Alexander Marx. All right? Now, we're going to go to the section entitled the National Disaster. The National Disaster. But see that? Okay, because they're speaking about what happened during 70 AD. Okay, so I'm just going to get some highlighted points that really hit home. Okay, now this is the second paragraph. All right, you know, and it says the Zealots were still in the minority and retreated to the inner temple court. So they, the martial Idumeans, who succeeded in entering the city at night during a heavy downpour of rain. You know, and you can make the point on how Pastor I brought it up. Jacob's hiring Esau.
Oh yeah, come on. Elder Pastor was getting into it. You know how you had Edomites actually fighting, you know, with Jake during 70 AD. You know, going back to John Hyrcanus, you know, he had made those Idumeans, all right, in their region because Judea was a sovereign country at the time, man. So they was making those Edomites, all right, in Idumea follow their ways, man. You know, so you had actually Edomites, you know, fighting, you know, with Jake, man, because they had a beef with the Romans too, man. You know, because the Roman was taxing everybody, man. You know, so you actually had some Edomites that would fight with Jake, not because they liked Jake, you know, because their interest was being interrupted by the Romans too, man.
Kind. And you know what? I'm going to start up because it's some points we was getting into earlier. So it can, you know, Lord will make it make more sense. All right. So I'm starting at the top. And once again, this is under the national disaster, 68 AD to 73 AD. Now it says the patriots ascribed the ill success in Galilee to the irresolution and apathy of the command. The party of the Zealots, under the leadership of Johanan of Gish-Halab, soon obtained the upper hand in Jerusalem. All those subjected leanings toward peace with Rome were imprisoned and slain. As the high priest had up to that time been members of the aristocracy, it was decided to choose for that position by the casting of lots priests from among the lower ranks who were to serve each other for 1 year only. The first priest thus elevated was a stonecutter by the name of Phinehas. His brother, a priest, supplied him with the means of maintaining his station. The men of order met the violence of the Zealots. Well, let me read that again. You know, hey, because we're men of order. Like pretty much, hey, you see how these other guys that want to have these different unity camps, and you know they come up against us and they get mad at us because we get on them because they're being carnal. Those are them Zealots coming back, man. And you see this happening, it's playing out all over again. Okay, it says the men of order met the violence of the Zealots by exhorting the people to curb the rampant terrorism. Right, man. Because those Zealots, they were wanting our people to, you know, join the military, basically.
And then fight. Because you had even the scribes and Pharisees, you know, they were like, you know, let's surrender to the Romans so all these people ain't got to die, you know. So it won't just be a slaughterhouse. And the scribes and Pharisees, you know, they were wicked in their own sense, but they had enough understanding. They had stored up some food because they knew the Romans were finna siege. And the Zealots actually burnt the food the scribes and Pharisees had stored up to encourage the people to fight, man. Some wicked niggas, man. You know, it like what the scriptures say, amongst my people are wicked men. There was some wicked ass niggas during that time, man. Some grimy niggas, man, just like today, man. And they gonna get a lot of people killed. All you people like a cheerlead with them niggas on the comment board. Bring it out, brothers. You know, a lot of you gonna get killed following them niggas in their spirit, man.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna jump back down now. Okay, because we understand that really it was those zealots that were fighting the Romans. The men of order, they just stuck to what YAHAWASHI said. And we're going to read that too, you know. Hey, it was always a separation, man, in our nation, okay? Now it says, such were Joseph, son of Gorion, the former high priest, Hanan, and Jeshua, son of Gamaliel, and especially Simon, son of Gamaliel, a descendant of Halil, the foremost leader of the Pharisees. The brawls of the street penetrated into the peaceful halls of the school. The force of calm argument was replaced by the clang of arms, which really was Jake fighting their own people, man. Okay? You know, Jake fighting their own people to make them fight, and Jake fighting the Romans. And strict measures were passed accentuating the separation between Jews and non-Jews. So if you wouldn't fight with these niggas, they was looking at you like you wasn't even an Israelite. And you tell me these niggas ain't back today, man. All right, so we going to read down, and then we going to jump to something else, because you made the point on how when basically the battle was won, like the Romans finally had us down, they was taking Jake directly and making them into slaves, man. You know, so we going to get that in a minute. All right, but I'm going to finish this off. It says, the zealots were still in the minority and retreated to the inner temple court. So they summoned martial Idumeans, who succeeded in entering the city at night during a heavy downpour of rain. They forthwith began murdering and looting. The two former high priests were among the victims. The zealots finished what the Idumeans had begun. Hey, you a grimy nigga. You want to hire Esau to fight your battle, man. Yeah. Okay, it says, Johanan of Gish-Halab was at last master in the city. Now listen to this. The Nazarenes, that is, those who accepted YAHAWASHI of Nazareth as the Messiah, indifferent to the national cause, sought safety in flight from Jerusalem.
Flight from Jerusalem, man. They got the hell up out of them, man. You know, they know that once they battle, man. You know, YAHAWASHI came back, you know, after the Romans had crucified him. You don't think he was breaking bread about what was about to go down, man? He prophesied to him in the Gospels, but when he came back, you know, before he ascended, you don't think he broke bread with the disciples, man? And would let them know what's about to go down, man? You know? So the disciples, they got the hell out of there. They knew it wasn't a physical battle then, man, because Peter cut off the ear, all right, of the servant of the high priest. What he say? Put his sword up, man. You know? You live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword, man. So they knew it wasn't time for them to go sword for sword with those Romans, man. You know, it's time to get the hell up out of them, man. You know?
Con. All right, so I'll read a little bit more of this, and I'm going to jump to another point. All right. It says they sought safety in flight from Jerusalem. The small community settled in Pella beyond the Jordan. Vespasian decided to let the Jews in the capital wear themselves out by internecine conflicts. Meanwhile, he subdued towards the end of the winter of 68 practically the whole of Transjordania. In the spring, he captured the Judean lowlands and Idumea. By the beginning of the summer, he was able to occupy Jericho. All right, which, you know, that's basically the point on that. So you pretty much see that he's still able to take us down. Why? Because the Most High was with that, because it's according to the prophecy. All right, now let's get this right here. Now this should piss you off, because the brother had mentioned, you know, according to the prophecy, it said in Luke how we will be led away captive to all nations. This is the beginning of it right here. Okay. And this is how you understand how we eventually got deep in West Africa. Okay, that transition. Mm-hmm. All right, this is on page 203. And I'm gonna read the second paragraph. Gets to the point. It says, after a turn of gay festivities, Titus embarked from Alexandria for Rome with 700 Jewish captives of extraordinary beauty. So he's parading us, man, out in the open as slaves. It says 700, you know? So, and this just one account. Mm-hmm. Let me read that again. After a turn of gay festivities, Titus embarked from Alexandria for Rome with 700 Jewish captives of extraordinary beauty. There, together with his father and brother Domitian, he led the triumphal procession, followed by the vanquished Jewish leader Simon, who then was executed in the prison next to the Forum. This should piss you off, man. But this the history. And it says this right here. Among the spoil carried in triumph were the 2 precious golden pieces of the temple furniture, the table of showbread and the 7-armed candlestick. Oh, and listen to this. The arch of triumph upon which these and other sacred symbols were represented was erected after the death of Titus and stands to this day. And you see it on there, man. Look at the Arch of Titus. You know, you see those damn Edomite soldiers, those damn soldiers carrying away spoil from the temple. Mm-hmm. The candlestick, the showbread, etc., man, etc. The golden
menorah.
The menorah. What the other piece of furniture that Solomon made with the brazen not the brazen altar, but dealing with it's like a bowl, but it has the ox under it. I want to say, you know, basically, hey, they was carrying away all that stuff, man. Yeah, we just have to get in the scriptures to get the exact word for it. But yeah, so the point is, this happened, man. You know, so this that time of trouble that the Lord was talking about. But, you know, as a whole, everything's going to be fulfilled in this time. That's why the Lord said, this generation shall not pass to all these things be fulfilled. Because that same generation back today. But see, this time is going to be way worse. And it's a cut on Bishop Nathaniel. Yeah, brother, it may be the, I'm not sure if it's the golden censer. But basically, it's that brazen. It's called an altar, but it has the oxen. I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was made during the time of King Solomon. It's what we had in our temple. You know, but you know when Esau raided our temple, they took that stuff away, man. Okay.
I think brother asked what book you read from too.
Yeah, hey brother, yeah, this is a history of the Jewish people. You know, it's an old book, man. It's show you the date. It's printed in 1927. In 1927. And you can't go wrong when you get these old books, man. You know, me and bro just talking about that. Mm-hmm. Brazen altar. Let me see. Yeah. What is the shape of a bowl, and they got the ox. We'll say the ox underneath it on 4 sides. But yeah, Esau, when they raided our temple, they took all this stuff away, man. Okay, they took it all away. But let's get another point, because you know, like we just read him leading those different. They say Jewish. Really, it was Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Him leading those Israelites captive, and it said about 700 of them. That was only the beginning, man. Okay, of them, you know, leading us away captive to all nations. Because get this right here, really quick. Okay, let me go back And let me know when you find it too. You brothers bear with me real quick. Okay. And this is how you understand that we are the real Israelites. You know, not Amalek. Not those guys, man. Okay, this is on page 204. And it reads, there was a sequel of Jewish uprisings in Alexandria and the northern coast of Africa. So wait a minute. You had Israelites in northern Africa. You had Israelites in Egypt. You had Israelites in Cyrene, which is Libya today. You had Israelites in Tunisia, Israelites in Algeria, Israelites in Morocco, Israelites in Mauritania. You know, we read about how Simon the Zealot went out there to preach. You know, but the point is, even after 70 AD took place, you still had zealots amongst the different nations. They were still having uproars, you know. They were still having different revolts against Rome. Okay. Well, and let me read down on that. It says, there was a sequel of Jewish uprisings in Alexandria, Egypt, and the northern coast of Africa. As a consequence, the temple of Onias and Leontopolis was closed. Thus was ended the 7 years' war against the power and brutality of Rome. Once more, the daughter of Zion sat and wept for the sanctuary that lay in ashes, for her sons that had fallen by the sword, and for her daughters carried away into slavery and given over to dishonor. That's why it tells you, when you read in Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, like towards the end, can you get them for me really quick?
I found that too. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, come on, you can read it.
Come on. This is 1 Kings 7 and 28. And it says, and the work of the bases were of this manner, and they had borders, and the borders were between the ledges. And the borders that were between the ledges were lions, oxen, and cherubims, and upon the ledges there were a base above, and beneath the lions and oxen were certain additions made of thin work, and every base had 4 brazen wheels and plates of brass, and the 4 corners thereof had undersetters under the laver, were undersetters molten, and at the side of every addition.
Yeah, so they took all of it away.
Yeah, so they could actually roll that. You had 4 wheels. You had the oxen. You had the lions, the cherubims on it, and those made of brass. You know, and they took that and they was rolling it through with those slaves.
Yeah, and we have no recollection as to where these things are that belong to our temple. You know, so once we were taken down in 70 AD, we lost everything, man. So that was that falling away first. The falling away first, you know. So the Lord put the stamp on it, man. Because even during the Dark Ages and Byzantine Empire, okay, now you had a lot of our people, they knew that they were Israelites, but during that period of time, we were being wicked. You know, Jake didn't know the truth. You had Constantine the Great. He was a damn sun worshiper. Okay, he believed in Sunday and in Easter and all that stuff. Okay, so pretty much, Jake, we lost everything. But that's why this is called, once again, the new song. Okay,
this is Isaiah 3 and 25. It says, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war, and her gate shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground.
Let me read this again. Page 204. Once more the daughter of Zion sat and wept for the sanctuary that lay in ashes, for her sons that had fallen by the sword, and for her daughters carried away into slavery and given over to dishonor. So this ain't talking about nobody else, man. That happened to us. You know, it's more of that.
That was the end of the chapter.
Now you got another scripture.
Because now we're getting into the part, you know, them zealots, they kept rebellion, but they kept getting put down, man. And our people was getting pushed, you know, further and further back, man, retreating, you know, into the west coast of Africa, man. You know? We was forced into Africa, man. You know, if it was up to us, we'd be in Jerusalem right now, man.
Yeah, we did not want to be in Africa.
Yeah.
We had a lot of our people out there, you know, because of the diaspora or diaspora, however you want to pronounce it. We had a lot of people there, but our homeland is Jerusalem, not Africa. And we don't believe in some damn Black History Month. This is some bullshit, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And as much as you tribes want to believe in this system, Esau still don't give a damn about you. Okay? Want to so-called give you a pat on the back for all your accomplishments. For all of your accomplishments. They don't give a damn about you, man. If that was the case, we wouldn't have to work for anybody. Okay? And you'll never get that 40 acres and a mule. And you had that one Edomite that was that woman, because you had Phil on the Advice show. He had brought it up. Basically, I forget her name right now, but it's an Edomite woman. She was talking about how Jake should get reparations for slavery. And I want to say she said 10 billion or something like that. Maybe more, maybe less. But billions of dollars, I think she said, for like 10 years. But that still ain't enough, man. That ain't enough. Give a damn how many billions of dollars. That's not enough. And if anything, it needs to be in the trillions. Really. For war reparations, for what you did to us. Hey, because even going back during this time, you got to pay for that. Now, she's talking about for what you did to us here in America. And just North America alone. She ain't mentioning what you did to Gad in Canada, what you did to the tribes on the islands, Ephraim, Manasseh, Levi, Simeon, Benjamin. Not mentioning what you did to them, what you did to Issachar, Mexico, what you did to Zebulon in Central America. Okay, what you did to Naphtali and Asher down in South America. So if you're just talking about North America, what you did to Jacob here, you got to pay for everything. You got to pay for what you did to us going back during the Greek Empire. Okay, so you want to talk about some reparations, you can never give us enough. But at the same time, they will never give us nothing anyway. They're not going to do it anyway. So what she's saying, she's wasting her time talking about that, you know? And that's to give you, Jakes, a sense of false hope. Mm-hmm. Give you more false hope. Like this bullshit Black History Month. Esau don't give a damn you made all these inventions. He's still taking credit for it. And you ain't getting paid for it, man. But going, you know, sticking to the point, like the brother had mentioned, you know, it was mainly those zealots going to war, you know, with Rome. And according to the prophecies, they got put down. You know, it said all our gates would lament and mourn. And the gates represent the people. So we was in a messed up state after that. And we have never been the same since. And Bible shot, let me finish this real quick. Yeah, I'm going to just finish this latter part of it. All right, it says, now listen to this. It says, the nation had been vanquished. The land of Israel was a province of the mighty empire. Yet there remained one thing that the fury of legions was powerless to destroy, the invincible Torah of the Jew. You know, which really, hey, the Lord really just preserved us, man, ultimately, because you couldn't get rid of the people. And it did, you know, come a point to where we weren't keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. But you know, hey, Esau got a point, because see, Esau wrote this. You can't destroy the word. Because we got the word back, and we woke up now. The Lord said he'd give us a book of remembrance. You know? So yeah, you had legions of you know, your power, your different military men, but the Lord's word. All right, you got it out.
What it's in Revelation where it say hurt not the about the word.
Yeah, chapter 6.
Chapter 6.
Hurt not the oil and the wine.
Here you go. Okay. This is Revelation chapter 6, verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
Yeah, now these horses represent power. A horse represents power, and basically it's talking about different prophecies that will happen in the future. You know, when you read this right here, you know, it's going into economic collapse. Okay? You know, it's going into a few things, but pretty much, You know, Elder Pastor Hart, he had mentioned it before. It was also going into the slave trade. You know, because the balances, it represent the like a yoke when you look it up. But also, once again, economic collapse is coming too. You know, but it said, did you read that part yet?
Yeah, it said, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
Yeah, it was showing you what the Lord preserved His word. You know, the oil and the wine represent His truth. He preserved His word, because you people want to ask yourselves, well, how is the Bible still here after all these thousands of years? And you got these numbskulls saying that, well, man wrote the Bible and all that. Well, why is His word still here? Yeah, well, hey, like Esau had said, he had said, the nation had been vanquished. The land of Israel was a province of the mighty empire. Yet there remained one thing, that the fury of legions was powerless to destroy the invincible Torah of the Jew. You couldn't destroy this book. You couldn't get rid of the Bible. You can't get rid of the Lord's word. See thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The Bible's still here. You know, which, like I said, going into the economic collapse is coming. We have the oil and the wine. We have the truth. So when all hell break loose, the Lord's going to make it to where brothers are going to be guided and protected during that time. You know, so he preserved His word, but He's also going to preserve us, because we hold His word. We have His word. Hey, well, like he said, since thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is that microchip. You know, so the Lord has to preserve you. You can't save yourself, man. You know, and once again, even though you had these different zealot niggas that was fighting against Rome back during that time, and you know, in 70 AD, and they got put down, but the Lord showed you he can preserve His men, because the followers of YAHAWASHI, they didn't get put to death. Now, you had martyrs. You did have martyrs. You read about the 12, okay? They were crucified. They were thrown off cliffs. They were, hey, they got messed up in all type of ways, man. You know, slain by the sword, okay? And look up the ways the disciples of the Lord died, okay? But at the same time, the Lord had more than just 12 disciples. And these men, they remembered the prophecies, and they remembered the Lord telling them, flee to the mountains. So they got the hell up out of there. And by those men doing that, that's how you have us today. That was the Lord preserving us. Okay? Preserving the seed, man. Now, you did have Jake still scattered everywhere, but in particular dealing with the elect, because the elect come back in their life. You know, it says all ages, wisdom, entering into holy souls. So you brothers, man, you're back today. You're the same followers of YAHAWASHI that listen. Okay? You got it out.
This is book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 27. And if you will not for all these walking unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury, and even I will chastise you 7 times for your sins, and ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall you eat. And I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast down your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you, and I will make your cities desolate, and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors, and I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it.
Yeah, hey, because the Lord using them to do it. You know, they felt like it was them doing it. They got all this power, but the Lord was moving them. You know, and even though, well, it said how the Lord, He would break down our high places and our idols, because Jake was going off. You had a lot of Jake, you know, committing idolatry, but the Lord, He tore down His own high place. You know, the temple in Jerusalem, man. You know, where we sacrificed and worshiped Him. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, He tore that down, man. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord, that was just a time He wasn't having mercy, man. You know, but at the same time, hey, everything's about to reverse now. You got it out.
And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste.
Wait a minute. The Lord said He would scatter us among the heathen. It said how Jerusalem shall be led away captive to all nations. You see how it links up? Go ahead out.
I'm going to skip to 37. And it says, 36. And said, and upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts, in the lands of their enemies.
Oh, that are left alive of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a remnant right there. Go ahead.
And the sounds of a shaken leaf shall chase them, and they shall flee as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursueth, and they shall fall one upon another as if it were before a sword when none pursueth, and ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies.
God. Hey, brother, well, you know, you post it. Post Romans 9:11. We'll get it. You know, we'll read it off the comment board. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, hey, this all happened, man. It all happened. So Israel, we were not completely vanquished. We were not exterminated, but our way of life, our culture, being aliens to the Commonwealth of Israel. That's what we are right now. We're not in our land, and we lost everything. But see, we're getting it back now. We're getting it back now. All right? But you had to lose it first in order to get it back. Mm-hmm. You know, so this is what happened, man. But the point is, those that are left alive of you, which is us today, man. So this is how you understand 70 AD. And this is how you understand the Bible. Okay? Go ahead out.
Hey, block, what is it? Christopher Grantham, man.
He doing too much.
Yeah, he bugging out.
All right.
He all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, man. Well, Jake can't shut the fuck up, man. You know, hey, man, a lot of you Jakes, man, well, we ain't gonna go back and forth with you. We're just gonna block you, you know? But yeah, this is, can you get Romans 9:11?
Come on.
Brother posted.
All right, this is Romans 9:11 from the brother Cameron Charles. It said, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand, not of works.
Yeah. So it's all about, really, it's all about what the Lord want to do, man. Mm. You know, his will. He is.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants to do. You know, so you Edomites, you popping up saying, well, it ain't fair. And, you know, you praying to Jesus saying you want your birthright back. And, you know, and you just know you Esau now. I mean, Esau, he had birthday parties and shit, got them damn blow up balloons, you know, with Esau. And he got a cake, got Esau on it, you know, playing dominoes. He'll put the dominoes in the, you know, the form of the name Esau. Esau through, man. You know who you are. We don't even got to say so-called white man. Now, we still say it. You know, we say it, but you know you an Edomite. You know, but it has nothing to do with your works, who you are as a person, as an individual. You say you a good law-abiding citizen. You know, you give to the poor. You got black friends, and you love to pull that out. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever it is, hey, say how your children shall seek to please the poor. Mm-hmm. Whatever you say and do is not a works, man. You can go to church all the hell you want to, believing in a God that look like you that don't exist. Okay? That shit ain't gonna help you, man. You going to slavery. Like me and the bro was saying before we started up, man. Like, it's a blessing not to be an Edomite. Y'all about to catch it, man. Oh, man. And you did all this shit to us. Well, I mean, man, you did some bullshit to us during the time of the Greeks. What you did during 70 AD, you gotta pay, man. And that's why the Lord called you the abomination of desolation. You know, it's like a nickname for an Edomite. You the abomination of desolation. You know, look what you did to us, man. Look what you did to our land. Okay? You got it out.
This is Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
There shall come a falling away first. And then it said, thou even thyself. So the Lord talking directly to Jeremiah.
History come out.
Yeah, yep, the heat, man. Yeah, the Lord was telling Jeremiah himself, like, yeah, you're going to lose your heritage. You're going to lose your identity. You're not going to know you were Israelite, Jeremiah. You know? So if it happened for Jeremiah, it happened with all the prophets. You know? But the Lord, he has a remnant. He has an elect that eventually will wake up to this thing. You know, those sleepers say, you hear that trigger word, and that trigger word, meaning this word right here. You hear this word, and it was synchronized with your spirit, and you'd wake up. The Lord said how he would stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance, because you once knew this. You once knew all this, man. We had it in the past. But, hey, man, Esau, hey, he did a work on us. Mm-hmm. He did a work. But you know, this is showing you that everything is playing out all over again. You know, so what you see with you know, Sakari and them doing, hey, what's the Sakari? Those are zealots. You know what I'm saying? And you HOI, all these different cats, man. HODC, ISUPK, these different Israelite camps outside of Great Millstone, for the most part, you know, they come in that zealot spirit. You know, now IUIC, man, they come in that sellout Pharisee spirit. You know, but you had two groups, you know. So you can see everything's it's like that song, God's plan. Yeah. It's all according to the Most High's plan, man.
Because 70 AD was really setting up Israel for the transatlantic slave trade, man. Benjamin Jude Levi, man. You know, it was setting them up for the transatlantic slave trade, man. You know, they had to be in those lands. You know what you had what you call it, the famous slave port in Africa.
You got Ouida.
Yeah.
You know, but it's Ouida in French, but really it's Judah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's called, they call it Slave Coast or the Gold Coast, which is the main slave port, and it's spiritual, because when you look it up, and it's on the History Channel. You know, Lord will, we may get that, but it's on the History Channel. You know, it tells you where the slaves in America came from. And they tell you that the slaves in North America came from the Slave Coast or the Gold Coast, which is called what? Ouida, Judah. So that shows that it's Judah here in North America. That's spiritual, man. That's heavy right there, man. They tell you, dealing with Benjamin Levi, where they came from. You know, the Jakes on the islands, what part of Africa they came from. You know, and you can see it lines up with them being Benjamin and with them being Levi. You know, it all makes sense, man. You know, you have the Ashanti and the Akan people. That's Benjamin. All right. You got the Awe or Ave people. That's Levi. You know what I'm saying? That would be Levi. But basically, when you read that, you know, it sounds similar. Ave or Awe, it reminds you of Eber or Abar, which is Hebrew, which not just HOI, not just Sakari, etc. He's making war against the nation of Israel, period, no matter who you are. So, hey, come with it, Esau, because you're going to do it anyway. All right, you had something else, bro?
I'm trying to find that picture. Esau won't even let it buffer. I think I just seen it. I try to look.
Yeah. Is it pull up if you go, you want images? It ain't even pulling up.
Yeah, it won't even let me load the screen.
Yeah, just put in Ashanti priest and type in breastplate.
Okay, cool.
That may do it. Hey, and this is good, man, because hey, here at Great Millstone, you see brothers are sincere, man. You know, hey, because we tell you to look things up, but spirit on the brother, we've been getting this stuff for you, man. You know, which, you know, we had no problem feeding the sheep and helping brothers, but hey, man, like we tell you, with a lot of this stuff, you need to look it up yourself too. We don't have a problem showing you. They still ain't pulling up.
Nah, they won't.
Yeah, he being the devil, man.
Yeah, he probably.
Yep.
If it load, I'll put it in.
Hey, well, you brothers, man, hey, if you can, buy the book Hebrew Isms of West Africa. You know, now, Lord willing, next time we go into the second part of this lesson, you know, I'll bring that book next time. But when you look in that book, Hebrew Isms of West Africa, that picture is in there. The Ashanti priest wearing that breastplate. And he also has a mitre on his head. He has the turban. Okay? So who else could that be? That's not a damn Hamite. That's not Hamitic culture to wear that type of apparel. Okay? But yeah, after you get this, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get, like you said, we explain how we got in Africa.
Come.
And then, yep.
Come. This is Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness.
Wait a minute. So this serpent, because when you read in Revelation 12 and also in chapter 13, it jumps. You know, it jumps. It's different time periods. Actually, all throughout Revelation chapter 20, you know, it jumps to different time periods, because Like before, what the brother was reading, it was talking about that war in heaven. You know, how you Edomites, you about to get blasted out the sky when the Lord comes back with them chariots. That's about to happen in this time. You know, but so what the brother's reading now, it jumped back because it jumped into the future. But then when you read the, you know, beginning of it, it gave you, it told you about the time period of when the Lord was born. You know, that woman with the 12 stars and the, you know, the crown represent the 12 tribes of Israel. She brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. That's YAHAWASHI. You know, but then it spoke about that. Then it jumped into the future about that war in heaven. But then it jumps back again and it's talking to you about how the serpent or that great red dragon, the Roman Empire, is making war against this woman. And that woman is not Mary. That woman is not Mary. That woman is not Eve. You know, because Esau, he want to break this down and want to say it's talking about how the serpent seed will be against the woman. You know, going back to Genesis, the 3rd chapter. It's not talking about that, devil. Put the book down, man. This Bible ain't for you, okay? It's not for you, Esau. The serpent seed is talking about the Edomites, okay? And that woman, in that particular scripture, even though the Lord was talking to Eve, that prophecy didn't represent Eve. It represented the 12 tribes of Israel, okay? How the nation of Edom, the Edomites, would be against the Israelites, you know? And it happened heavy during the time of the Roman Empire. That persecution is why the Lord said how the kingdom of heaven suffered violence and the violent take it by force. They was talking about the Romans persecuting Israel because we're the kingdom of heaven. Okay? But you read that again.
All right, this is back in Revelation 12 and 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth.
Well, that's about to happen. That hasn't happened yet. Go ahead.
He persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child.
Right. The woman is Israel. The man child is YAHAWASHI. Go ahead.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness into her place.
Right. So we were swift getting the hell up out of there. It said in that book, the history of the Jewish people, we took flight. Okay. We got up out of there. Now, we were in other parts of Israel where the Romans weren't at. But ultimately, we just got out of Israel, period. You know? It said we went where, Ak?
It said, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly to the wilderness.
Into the wilderness, which is what? The Sahara, the desert, West Africa. That's what it's talking about, man. Go ahead, Ak.
It said, into her place where she is nourished.
Oh, then it jumps again. Right. You know, and if we can get Bible shot Micah 4 and 10, because it goes right into this.
Okay, come on.
We was in the land of Israel. We left Israel. We went to West Africa. And from West Africa, we're here. You know, flying to her place ultimately is America. The wilderness is Africa. That place after that will be America. And that's the transatlantic slave trade. That's how we got brought over here. So, hey, the Lord, he gave you the complete timeline, man.
We are, all right, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi are the descendants, all right, of the Jews that fled from Roman persecution, man. You know? And then you have the northern kingdom. They are descendants, all right, from the tribes, the northern kingdom tribes that left the Assyrian captivity and came over here to the western hemisphere, man. We are the descendants of those people. Our lineage, our storyline goes back to Israel, man. You know, at the end of the day, man.
Yeah. Hey, because you devils, you look at us, where's your genealogy?
Yeah.
Do you have the records? We got the record the Most High left of his son.
The events.
Yeah.
We follow the events.
Them prophecies, man.
In your books, you got the events.
And it lines up with that. Yep, so we don't need the records. We got it all right here. We got the records in the spirit. Go ahead, Ak.
And it says, enter her place where she is nourished for a time and times and a half of times from the face of the serpent.
And you know what? It spoke about that time and times and half a time in the book of Daniel. That's how long Esau would have the dominion over us. This is beautiful, man. And you know what? That time period, or that time and times and half a time is 100 years. Times is 200 years. So that's 300 years. And a half a time, or the dividing of time, like it says in Daniel, that's 50 years. So you add all that together, all that together is 350 years. You know, which like we say, that's from 1620 to 1970. because, 1619, that's when the slave trade started. That's when the bulk of the slaves came over here to the Americas. Now, if you want to get technical, there were slaves that were brought here in the 1500s. A lot of different Moors, okay? Because the first slaves actually came from Spain and Portugal, if you want to get technical. But as far as the bulk of us coming over here from West Africa, that began in 1619. And that's why you Jakes, you believe we're going to get up out of here this year because of a 400-year prophecy, which really the 400 years are talking about ancient Egypt, man. If you want to get technical with this time as far as the captivity, well, let's begin with the Northern Kingdom. Columbus or Cristobal Colon coming over here in 1492. If you want to go into all that, really, we've been in slavery for over 500 years. If you want to count the whole nation, okay? But going back to that scripture, a time and times and a half a time, that's 350 years from 1620 to 1970. And it's till 1970 because when 1970 came, that's when this truth started coming out via Albert Bivens. Okay?
And America been going downhill since.
That's right. Yeah. They got a magazine. I'm paraphrasing the name, but I want to say it's called like the Great Year or the Year of Importance. And they talking about 1968. Like, so that was the beginning of time when the truth was starting to come out, man. Esau putting his satellites and space stations up. You had the civil rights era, but basically coming to the latter end of that time, that's when the truth came out, man. Then you had Malcolm X and stuff like that. Hey, guess what? Malcolm X, he listened to our teachers, man. Where do you think Malcolm X got that speech of dry bones, man? He even said that means you're not literally dead, you're spiritually dead. Who he get that from? More than likely, Malcolm X was listening to Albert Bivens and Elder Yaquab. Okay? I remember Elder Apostle Gabar speaking on that. Malcolm X, he learned from us. We didn't learn from him. Even though a lot of you Jakes follow him, you like to follow him, even though he's dead now, and you like to follow Farrakhan. You call him Farrakhan. And that dude, he's been lying and snaking for years, man. Oh, slick head ass, man. Lying to you Jakes, man. But then he'll say openly that the black people in America are the real children of Israel. But the Lord ain't looking for somebody that's all eloquent and, yeah, he's a good motivational speaker, but then turn around and lie to you, man. And then he came out openly saying he's been lying for years, man. And then saying he believes in the Bible and, and his Jesus is what matters. If you believe in Jesus, why you talking about some damn Islam bullshit, man? But going back to the point, why we getting into all this, like the brother had said, because the spirit on the brother do the video, you got to understand 70 AD to understand the Bible. How did we get over here in the Americas? In particular, dealing with Judah, Benjamin, Levi, because in Revelation 12, those are those three stars that was cast to the earth. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. We were heavily persecuted by the Romans. How did we get over here? How can we break it down to you that Judah is so-called Negro, Benjamin is so-called West Indian, Levi is so-called Haitian? This is how we do it. Now the brother's going to read this, and you're going to see this parallels where it coincides to what the brother read in Revelation chapter 12. Go ahead out.
This is the book of Micah chapter 4, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city. The city is the land of Israel. In particular, Jerusalem. Okay? Go ahead. And thou shalt dwell in the field.
Oh, the field is the world. Matthew chapter 13. The field represents the world. So we be scattered all across the planet. But in particular, we go to West Africa. So you leave the city, you leave Jerusalem, you go out into the field, which is the world, and you mainly go to the wilderness, West Africa. Go ahead.
And thou shalt go even to Babylon.
Woo!
There shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord Yahawashai shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies.
Why? Because it was called the place prepared of the Most High. She might fly into her place. You see that? And all praise to Yahawashai. We getting into this, man. Hey, this soul food right here. All right? Not that bullshit, because it's Black History Month. You watch that movie Soul Food, and they even made fun of that shit on Boondocks, saying how right after Big Mama died, Jake started eating that same bullshit that killed Big Mama. Hey.
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. You destroy for lack of knowledge, man. Hey, man, you Jakes better get right. Hey, the elder brothers, elder warrior, elders of high, they did a lesson yesterday on the side of camp dealing with you Jakes. You need to stop abhorring the herbs. Stop hating the herbs, man. Stop hating eating the natural way. Stop hating eating whole foods. And the word whole, it means health. Foods that make you healthy, man. Don't despise that. Forget some damn bullshit slave food, really. What they call soul food, that's slave food. That's food they gave slaves. We know better than that, man. When you know better, you do better. All right? But you had something else?
I'm just saying, even let brothers know, especially brothers got houses, man. You got herbs in your own yard that you can use, man. It's an app, that you can get, called Plant Net. The word plant and then net, and it's gonna be a green box with a white flower on there. All right, with a white circle with a green flower on there. And you can use that to identify different plants in your yard. Even if you're in apartments, you might have something that grow outside the apartments. Like the brother say, get into the herbs, man. Because that's our culture, man.
Yeah. You read about the prophet Daniel. Okay, you had Daniel, and you had those three brothers, Azariah, Mishael, and Hananiah. Basically, Jake back then, that was really down for the truth. They went on a plant-based diet. Eating certain dark leafy green vegetables. Okay, and it told you how their faces were fatter or more healthier than the people that ate the king's meat. And that meat was unlawful that they was eating, man. That's why that's why Jake didn't eat that shit. Cause Jake like to eat meat. A lot of you brothers, man, you like lamb, you like bison, you like deer. Which, man, Esau, he's giving the deers a brain eating disease, man. So we gotta get out of this captivity, man. You can't even eat deer. You can't eat nothing, man. But the point is, going back to the point, the Lord gave you the transition of us being in the land of Israel, leaving Israel, going out into the world, whether it was Asia, whether it was Europe, or whether it was Africa. And then from there, we get brought even to Babylon, which is America. Okay, now I had this book here. You about to get something?
No, I can get that then. I got about 2 more.
Yeah, this is going to be it on this.
Yeah, come.
I got this book here, which I'm going to read what's in this book. And also, I have something on Wikipedia. I'm going to read for you brothers. Basically, all right, this is called the Encyclopedia of the Jewish Diaspora. Okay? And these are not the real Jews on the front. All right, so ignore this. These are identity thieves. It tells you in the book of Zechariah, a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. This is not the people of the Lord, man. Okay? But I'm going to get to the point, all right, because there's a few sections that got some heat in it. Okay? You brothers bear with me real quick. All right? Okay, now this is on page 510. Okay? So on page 510, and it says at the top, 1st century. So 1st century AD. Around the time of the destruction of the Second Temple, numerous Jewish communities in North Africa come into being because we fled into the wilderness. We fled into North Africa and West Africa. All right, and it says, including those of northern and coastal Tunisia. Right, so that's the point on there, on that. And I'm going to jump down a little bit. Okay, it says, well, I'll just read it straight, to get the point. It says Jews had perhaps arrived even earlier together with Phoenician or Canaanite traders. The founders with the mythical Queen Elisa or Dido of Carthage. Right, because you had a lot of Israelites in Carthage. You read about Hannibal. Okay. You had a lot of Israelites in North Africa. Now it says a probable cultural syncretism between Jews and the local population being the Hamites, had survived the destruction of Carthage by Rome in 146 BC. Okay? And it says, and the Carthaginian rulers were replaced by Roman, eventually Christian masters. Right? So those Hamites were replaced by Israelites. So it's a lot of Israelites in Africa, man. And that's why we also went into the point on how it was actual Israelites. It was more Israelites selling our people into slavery than Hamites did, because it was more rulers. It was more Israelite rulers in West Africa and also in North Africa than Hamite rulers. Now, Ham had their hand in it. You know, Ham not getting off the hook. Okay? They took part in it, but for the most part, it was really our people. But and how you know it was our people? Case in point, dealing with the New Testament, right? Let's deal with the Cornelius issue. Now you had the Apostle Peter and you had the other men of the Lord. They were saying how it was an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to come unto one of another nation, right? Now when you look that word nation up, it's ethnos, which means a tribe, another tribe. So basically it was looked at as illegal if you were of the circumcision. That was looked at as illegal if you were the circumcision to be around another Israelite of another tribe, okay, that may not know that they're Israelite, and they don't keep the laws. That was illegal during our time, man. Back during the time of Acts, okay. So pretty much we was looking at our own people like heathens, man. You know, but fast forward into the future, dealing with the slave trade, a lot of those different West African rulers that were Israelites, what they did, they didn't trade the Israelites in their region. What they did, they fought against other Israelites. Basically, they was gang banging. To put it plain and simple, Jake was gang banging. And Jake did the same thing in Europe. You know, Elder Rakaya Kwam, he brought that out, man. You know, and you watch that movie Braveheart, it goes into that, man. Okay? Watch the movie Braveheart. Those were Israelites. Those were not Edomites when you watch that movie. Okay, but dealing with the transatlantic slave trade, it was our own people selling us, man. But what Jake would do, they would look at other tribes, and by tribes I mean Israelites that's not in their region, and we were calling ourselves different names too. Okay, even though we were Judah, Benjamin, Levi, we was calling ourselves different names, you know, in West Africa. But you would look at yourself like you were from a different tribe, and they were from a different tribe. Like I said, Jake basically gang banging, and what you would do, you would have wars. We were warring with each other, and we would capture fellow Israelites. We would capture fellow Israelites, round them up. Those are the Israelites that's not of our region. We would round them up, and we viewed that as not selling our own people, because they're not in our neighborhood. Basically, that's how we looked at it, man. You know, and you better believe those different West African rulers that were Jake, they got rich, man. So Jake did it for the payoff, basically. You know, and once again, Ham had a part in it. Ishmael played a part in it. Ishmael played a very big part in it, you know. But for the most part, Jake did the most damage, you know.
I make the point too, like you said, when they conquered the Moors, Granada, when Granada fell, those Edomites used the spoils of Granada because Granada was very rich to actually fund. That's where Esau really got his money started, man, from Granada when they spoiled the Moors, man. Because the Moors, they had a lot of gold, you know, they had a lot of infrastructure. You know, that was a wealthy civilization, man. You know, and Esau spoiled that. He used that to fund that slave trade, man.
Yep. And like we had told you, brothers, the first slaves actually came from Seville, Spain, and Portugal. Okay? Those were the Moors. And the Moors were Israelites. The Moors are Israelites. And to this day, Esau makes fun of the Moors, man. You know? Over in damn Sweden, around the time of so-called Christmas, which is a pagan holiday, you have a iconic figure that Esau calls Black Pete. Black Pete, which is a Moor. Basically, Santa, who they have as an Edomite, which Santa Claus really is a Jake. Saint Nicholas, he was a Orthodox Jew, you know? But Esau has him depicted as an Edomite today. But Black Pete, that's Santa Claus's slave. That's his helper. That's his slave. And basically, what he does, you know, according to the oral traditions, so to speak, you know, if you've been naughty, Black Pete, he'll basically whoop your ass, you know, for Santa. But he's Santa's slave, you know. And not too long ago, over in Spain, Esau, they had like a fundraiser, I want to say. They were doing something where they were giving away food, but they had all these Edomites, all these Spanish Edomites dressed up in blackface. And that was just a couple months ago, man. And they stay doing it in Sweden, in Holland, okay? All over the world, man. Even in Japan. Ammon do it too. You know, but people know that the Israelites once ruled the world. Whether it's the Dark Ages and Byzantine Empire, or going back during the time of King David and King Solomon. Which that's the part that mainly counts, because that's when all the tribes were united. Not just Judah, Benjamin, Levi. And this is the main threat. Now, I read how, you know, several Jewish communities or Judah, Benjamin, and Levite communities popped up in North Africa after the destruction of the Second Temple, right? That happened in 70 AD. Communities in North Africa started popping up, you know, widely. Now, to get something else really quick, this is going to hit home right here. Okay, this is the main part we want to get. Now, this is on page 453. Show it on the camera. Page 453. Now, the title of this section here, this chapter is Migrations of Jews into West Africa. Now, we're just going to read the top. It says, according to most accounts, the earliest Israelite, really, the earliest Israelite settlements in Africa were in places such as Egypt, Tunisia, and Ethiopia. You had the Ethiopian eunuch, right? It says, historians believe these settlements may have been in existence as early as the kingdoms of David and Solomon. Because you have the law of the stranger. You had Israelites that would travel. Okay? Now it says, as well as during the Assyrian invasion of northern Israel in 722 BC. Hey, so a lot of you northern kingdom, you were scattered too. Before you came over here to the Americas, you were scattered. Called Latinos, Hispanics, Native and Seminole Indians, you were scattered as well. As well as during the Assyrian invasion of northern Israel in 722 BC and the Babylonian captivity of Judah in 586 BC and the Punic Carthaginian age. Now listen to this. Listen to this. These communities were augmented by subsequent arrivals of Jews after the destruction of the Second Jerusalem Temple in 70 CE, which is AD. And it says 30,000 Jewish slaves were settled throughout Carthage by the Roman Emperor Titus. That's the point right there, man. You see that? So we are who we say we are. And now, like the brothers in Chicago brought out, now it's all about Esau proving he's not an Edomite. It's not about us proving that we're the Israelites. It's about you Edomites proving you're not the Edomites, and it's not going to work. You definitely an Edomite. Y'all definitely the Edomites, you know?
That's that picture there, bro.
That's it.
Yep. It's that Ashanti priest, you know, with the ephod. All right, you see him, the Ashanti priest sitting down. He got the ephod on, like the high priest would wear, man. You know, you see those Edomites over there. You know, we had settlements in West Africa, man. It wasn't nothing for Jake to post up somewhere, man. You know, we was what you call it, people, a traveling people.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, a nomadic people, man.
Yep, nomadic.
Yep. So they set up posts, man. You know, so we are descendants of Israel, man. You know, we have nothing to do with the Hamites, man. That's a lie that was put on on you, and we're gonna get into that, man, before we close out, man.
Con, my brother. Hey, this is beautiful, man. And I'm gonna finish this off, and you got it out. Yeah, this is it right here, man. This is on page 454. Well, actually, yeah. Well, you know what? Let me read the top, and then I'm gonna jump down. Now it says this. It says the Arabs, Ishmaelites, who also know the legend of the Beni Musa, sons of Moses. You know, which really is Bunyam Mashah. It says agree with the Jews in placing their land in Africa. So Ishmael know who we are. Hey, these so-called Arabs, don't let them fool you, man, because they got a gas station or a convenience store in your neighborhood, okay, or may own a damn Baskin Robbins. Don't let them put a slick one on you, man. They know exactly who you are, and that's why they have no problem with selling you bullshit. They view it as, yeah, we polluting them. Yeah, they were so great. If you so great, why I'm able to sell you this bullshit meat? Why I'm able to sell you cigarillos? You know, why when you leave my store, your woman, she want to get a deal on some of my items, so I got to get some sex from your woman. That's what Ishmael do, man. And they get the finest of our women at that. You know? But, you know, sticking to the point, it's still how Ishmael, the so-called Arabs, they know who we are. And once again, they had a part in the slave trade too. They were selling us to the east. Okay? Ishmael, they were selling us to the east, man. That's why you have a lot of Israelites in Iraq. You have a lot of Israelites in India, Israelites in Afghanistan. You got Israelites in Asia.
Syria.
Yeah, it's Syria. Con. Hey, man, we everywhere, you know? But I'm going to read down, and it's going to hit the point right here. This is the point right here. Migrations into sub-Saharan Africa. The Sahara, right? The woman fled into the wilderness. Now listen to this. It says, in latter centuries, Jews are believed to have settled in Western Africa. I got to read that again. Or later, in later centuries, Jews are believed to have settled in Western Africa. Who are the Jews? Judah, Benjamin, Levi. That's who was predominantly in West Africa. During the height of the Songhai, Mali, Ghana, and Kanem Bornu empires. According to accounts from explorers of the region, several powerful Jewish families of the Songhai Empire were of Jewish origin until Askia Muhammad came to power and in 1492 decreed that all Jews either convert to Islam or leave the region. Right. So we stopped calling ourselves the Israelites because we were being forced to convert to Islam. And a lot of us still retain who we were, and we just left. Okay? But, hey, man, these damn jakes that believed in Islam, they were selling out, man. And they had a part in the slave trade, too. You know, and I'm going to finish this off. I said I was going to read this, and that's going to be it on my end. All right, this is called Jews of Bilad el Sudan. Jews of Bilad el Sudan. And this is on Wikipedia. Now, if you go on Wikipedia now, they changed the information. If you go on Wikipedia now, this has changed. It's going to sound similar, but the last part, they took it off. Can you go to it for me, brother?
Which one?
To show they changed it. On Wikipedia, type in Jews of Bilad el Sudan.
Okay, cool.
And while the brother's getting that, I'm going to read this, and you're going to see how Esau, he's lying now. Because he sees us bringing this information out. And you can't hide it no more, Esau. Jews of the Bilad al-Sudan. Okay, and they have it in the Judeo-Arabic. And it says, describes West African Jewish communities who were connected to known Jewish communities from the Middle East, North Africa, or Spain and Portugal. Now, who ruled during the Dark Ages? The Moors. Where did they rule at? In Spain and in Portugal. All right, in various parts of Europe, even to Russia. Okay, but They were known Jewish communities where they were at. So it wasn't just our people that believed in Islam. We knew who we were. Even though at this time we didn't have the full truth, we lost it because of the destruction of our temple and Jerusalem. But we knew who we were still, a lot of us. All right, it says, Jews of the Balad al-Sudan describes West African Jewish communities who were connected to known Jewish communities from the Middle East, North Africa, or Spain and Portugal. Various historical records attest to their presence at one time in the Ghana, Mali, and Songhai empires. I just read that in this Jewish encyclopedia. Then called the Balad as Sudan from the Arabic meaning land of the blacks. But we're not black people. We're Israelites. Jews from Spain, Portugal, and Morocco in later years also formed communities off the coast of Senegal and on the islands of Cape Verde. These communities continued to exist for hundreds of years, but have since disappeared due to changing social conditions, migration, and the transatlantic slave trade.
You don't say transatlantic.
Don't say it.
It's a persecution, migration, you know, and we went into the word migrant yesterday. A migrant is someone who travels looking for work.
Kind.
You see? So they took that transatlantic slave trade and turned to migration and assimilation.
That's why we call you the devil.
Yep, that's why we call you the devil, man.
Woo! Hey man, you Edomites, Edomite lies don't matter no more.
No.
You know, you can't cover this up, man. It says how truth shall spring out the earth. You know? You're gonna say we migrated, which like brother said, which means that you're looking for work. So we we came to America. Hey, cause you know what? They got that in the school books now too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we came over here as basically willing to work. You know, hey, look it up. Look it up. I want what was that in Texas or Alabama? But they changed it in the school books, man. Saying we just came over here as workers. Okay, not slaves, you know, not against our will, but we came over here as workers, man. You Edomites gotta pay, man. You gotta pay. Okay? Yeah, it said that due to migration and assimilation. Just take out the transatlantic slave trade part, you know. But this lets you know that the real Jews, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, you so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians, you are the real Jews, man. Or the real Israelites. That's who you are. Along with the other tribes, our brothers and sisters. But in particular, we're dealing with this part on how did we get in Africa? Okay? Where were we before Africa? We were in the land of Israel. And we settled in Africa. We had communities in Africa. But those communities, like I said, they have since disappeared due to changing social conditions, migration, and the transatlantic slave trade. So the real Jews, they went into slavery via the transatlantic slave trade. That's what that's saying. So it's not just assimilation, Esau. You know, we've been assimilated into your system because you enslaved us. And we had no choice. We had no choice. Okay? You had something up?
This is what you were speaking on. This from Washington Post. It said Texas officials said schools should teach that slavery was side issue to Civil War. And it says 5 million public school students in Texas will begin using new social studies textbook this fall based on state academic standards that barely address racial segregation. The state's guidelines for teaching American history also do not mention the Ku Klux Klan or Jim Crow law. The devil trying to pull his skirt down. Man. All right, it's over with. You exposed, man. Yep. They're gonna expose you every day, man. You know
that's right.
And it said, and when it comes to the Civil War, children are supposed to learn that the conflict was caused by sectionalism, states' rights, and slavery, written deliberately in order to telegraph slavery's secondary role in driving the conflict. According to some members of the State Board of Education, slavery was a side issue to the Civil War, said Pat Hardy, a Republican board member, when the board adopted the standard in 2010, there would be those who would say that the reason for the Civil War was over slavery. No, it was over state rights.
That's some fucking bullshit, man. And you Edomites know it's some bullshit. But you know what? See, the bankers, the international banking families, they're in control of this right here, man. See, they able to
yep.
All right, because see, really, when you really go into it, man, the reason why you had the Civil War and also the Emancipation of Proclamation, because the bankers, they wanted complete control. They wanted to take control from you Edomites that was in the South. All right, and they wanted to have that power up north, man. It was all about a transfer of ownership. The South that was being transferred up north. You know, and ultimately they want everybody to be slaves anyway, even their own. You know, but you know they was taking your little power away, so that's why you Edomites, y'all bitching, man. But you can't change the history. I mean, that happened. But like the brother said, you being made naked. You got it.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, that son of perdition. And we in that time, man. We just discussed that great falling away, man, going from the timeline of 70 AD all the way into what we at today, man. Israel fell away from who they were, man. You know, we had discontinued from our heritage, man. You know, we was cut off. And it said, verse 4, who opposed it and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High.
Yep, because it says how lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. You look that word profane up. It goes back to the Latin, and it literally means outside of the temple. So in Edomite, well, that's why the Lord calls you the abomination of desolation. Edomites are outside of anything holy. You know? So he opposes and exalts himself above all that's called the Most High. You know, you constantly blaspheming the Most High. You know, via your media, your policies, everything you do, your plantation Christianity, it's all blasphemy against the Most High. Calling yourselves us, you know, well, you want to say that you the Most High, you want to say you the Messiah, you the angels, you the Israelites, you know, everything that the Most High is represented by, all the Most High's power, you profane it, man. You know.
And it says back in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, it says, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
Yeah, that's that picture of Cesare Borgia, you know, which ultimately it goes back to Serapis Christus. You know, but that's your image you putting up.
Yep.
All right, and then not to mention you over our people, because really, ultimately, even though that image is up in these different churches, hey, when you look at the state of the minds of the Israelites, because we're the temple of the Lord, that image is in their mind. You know, so you got all these Israelites out here calling upon Jesus. And when they say Jesus, that other white meat, that's what pop up in their head, man. You know, that image of you, which is a false image. That's not the Messiah.
Going back to, if I can add.
No, you got it.
Going back to Ptolemy, all right. His son, Ptolemy II, that died, all right, he made him into a god, man. You know, and you had a lot of our people, they liked Ptolemy because Ptolemy showed them some type of favor, man, because you had Antiochus in Judea, Antiochus Epiphanes, he was wreaking havoc on the Jews, man. But in Ptolemy, you know, the Israelites had a little leeway, man. You know, so they worship Ptolemy and the image that he set up as his of his son, all right, which was an Edomite. They worshiped that, man. They had little images, you know, of his son in their house, man. Just like they got images of Jesus Christ everywhere today, man.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new, man. The same people, man. And that's why people can't get over the so-called white man, man, because they've been worshiping Esau, man. You know. And today we in spiritual Egypt, man. Same thing, man.
Come on.
Verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And
yeah, you know, this is the Apostle Paul speaking, but in the spirit is YAHAWASHI. Because, you know, the Lord knew there would come a point in time when this devil would be revealed. We know who the devil is. You know, because people say that, well, no, this is talking about the Antichrist. According to 1 John, there'll be many antichrists, stupid. The son of perdition represents the Edomite nation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the son of perdition. Perdition meaning destruction. Mm-hmm. Hey, the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. That's the Edomites. Mm-hmm. You got it up.
Verse 6. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
And it's this time, because it didn't happen when the Lord came. Even though the Lord, he was cutting Esau, or cussing Esau out. Speaking about Herod, the Lord told him, go tell that fox. Mm-hmm. Because he knew that there wasn't they weren't the Jews. They was faking to be us, man. And then the Lord had said out, he saw Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Did that happen during the Lord's time 2,000 years ago? No. It's going to happen in this time. But then, like it's saying right here, there had to come a falling away first. So the destruction of Jerusalem, during 70 AD, that had to happen first. And then this will come. But then, like, the Lord is so beautiful because the Bible been preserved, man. This was written 2,000 years ago, and the end didn't come yet. But it's for now, man. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 7. Verse 6. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
Yeah, because Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
Yeah, this is like Elder Apostle Tahar said years ago. Basically, the Apostle Paul was saying the devil is already here. Because a lot of you Jakes, you seek for a sign. And that's why y'all believe in that, false doctrine about, the omen, Damien, the Antichrist is going to grow up in the White House, or the Antichrist, Donald Trump. It was Obama, yeah. But now it's Trump, and or you think Obama going to get back in office, and I told you it was Obama. No, man. It's talking about the Edomites. Oh, boy. Yeah, Jake finished, man. Go ahead, out.
It said, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now let it will let until he be taken out of the way.
Yeah, so the Lord is allowing this man to do this, to do all his wickedness. Because, it's some receipts on this devil, man. Mm. His track record, going back really to the beginning. What the serpent did. Then you have what Cain did. Okay. You have what Esau did to Jacob, saying how he wanted to slay Jacob. Israel was coming out of Egypt. We had war with Amalek. We wanted to pass, via the King's Highway. Edomites wouldn't let us pass. It goes deep, man. Mm-hmm. It goes deep. The Babylonian Empire, when they came into fruition, Esau helping them take us down. What Haman did during the time of the Persians, wanting to murder all the Jews, and that's why we celebrate Purim today. The Lord put an end to Haman's madness. But eventually, what happened? It was time for Esau to rule. Alexander the Greek came. The Macedonian. And they ruled. The Romans popped up. Then Esau went down for a little bit. But what happened? His deadly wound was healed. Now you got his devil all back again, man. Today. So the Lord is only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way. He's about to be taken out the way now. Mm-hmm. In this time, because just like Elder Apostle Gabar said, the only man that could take Esau down is the man that gave him the blessing, which is YAHAWASHI. Because YAHAWASHI, he's Isaac. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
This happening right now. You're being consumed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth. All this information we brought out through the spirit, and we still got a little bit more, but you're being consumed right now, devil. Go ahead.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
So yeah, first is the spiritual destruction. We're going to chant down Babylon, break down Babylon by the word. Okay, we're going to pull down like Jeremiah did. Okay, but then their physical destruction is going to come. The Lord going to take you down. Okay, it tells you that in 1 Corinthians 15, when he shall have put down all rule, all authority and power, putting down you Edomites. Go ahead, out.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Yeah. So you Edomites, you come in the spirit of Satan because you're the physical counterpart of Satan on the earth. You're Satan's children on the earth. That's who you are. Go ahead.
With all deceivableness and of unrighteousness in them that perish because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Yeah. because it's not for the majority of our people. You know, but see, that's the point, man. You know, hey, you Edomites, you're responsible for this. Even though 2/3 of our people gonna die, you're responsible for them being this loss. You know, now we're not gonna give you all the credit because Jake wicked. You know, hey man, if Jake want to follow you, that's on them. They blood on their own head. But once again, you've created this system to keep Jake trapped, and you're gonna pay for that.
All right, now, we want to touch on real quick before we close out. Now, when you brothers get a chance, you have two Edomites, all right, so-called Jews, you know, Amalek. One of them is named Franz Boaz, you know, and y'all brothers can research him. And then Melville Herkovitz. They are responsible for placing, you know, their curriculum of African American studies in the history books. We all learned it when we was in school, you know. But these two Edomites, all right, Franz Boaz, all right, and Melville Herkovitz are the two Amalekites, all right, that instituted that, man, that put that, all right, into the curriculum of the schools that teach, all right, us, all right, to teach the world, you know, that we are African Americans, man. And that's why it's so important to understand 70 AD. Because if you don't understand 70 AD, it's easy for them to say that you are African, man.
Yep.
And link you to Africa and make it seem like that's where you originated from, man. You know?
And that's why the Lord said he would have war with Amalek from generations to a generation. This war right here. Why they got to be Amalekites that put that in the curriculum? They're fake Jews, so-called Jews. You know? Those not even regular, I mean, they're Edomites, but those are not your average Edomites. They're Amalek. You know, so it is showing you, man, we at war right now. That was a war tactic to put some African studies or to push that vibration of Africa on you, man. You know, in the school system. You got it out.
All right, now, you know, Esau loves to prop up a devil. I mean, to prop up a coon. You know, to further fool the masses of our people. Now, I'm quite sure brothers are familiar with the man by the name of W.E.B. Du Bois. You know, they look him up. They look at him as a hero. You know, he's a hero within black culture, man. You know, but we're gonna read a little bit about him, and then we're gonna go into that Pan-African meeting that he had in London, man. All right, his name is William Edward. This is from Wikipedia. All right, his name is William Edward Bogart Du Bois. It says, all right, this is going back into the article, you know, W.E.B.D. Du Bois. He was born February 23rd in 1868, and he died in 1963. And it said he was an American socialist, historian, civil rights activist, Pan-Africanist, author, writer, and editor. All right, and he was born in. Now I'm gonna skip down to the point. You know, going to the conference, the first Pan-African conference, man. So all you Egyptologists, all right, all you Pan-African niggas, you know, whatever you niggas into the motherland, you know, Sinella, you see where he at now, bug the hell out. All right, this is where this begins at, man. All right, you like to say that the Bible was written by a so-called white man. Nah, what you believe in was orchestrated by the devil, man. You know, this is the first Pan-African conference. In 1900, Du Bois attended the first Pan-African American conference held in London from July 23rd to the 25th. All right. Now, who headquarters in London, man? That's the elites, man. They had their hand in this, man. You think they gonna just let Jake come together and they don't have no say-so? You know? The least control that narrative, man, of that Pan-African bullshit, man.
Hey, the threat is Israel. We're the threat, you know? And he has nothing to do with us coming together. That's why they sent a damn drone to our camp yesterday. Because they're angry at the fact that we're getting together, but it's not under them. And that's why we tell you, Jakes, hey, man, wake up, man. IUIC, they sold the hell out. Got a damn 501c3 charter. Esau has nothing to do with what we got going on with this word, man. And us being who we are, you know? But you got it, brother.
And said this was just before the Paris exhibition in 1900 to allow tourists of African descent to attend both events. It was organized by men from the Caribbean, the Haitians, and Trinidad.
But these are all Israelites.
Benjamin, Levi,
Mm-hmm.
and Judah, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see, they want to make you to be African American. Why is they only going to these certain places, man?
Kind.
All right, Haiti, West Indies, you know, and the Negroes in America, man.
Kind.
They at least know exactly what the hell they doing, man.
Yeah, that's Judah, Benjamin, Levi. You know,
it said Dubose played a leading role in drafting letters addressed to the nations of the world. So they pushed out to the nations that you was descendants of Africans, man. This is what these niggas was doing, and you know the elites was in the background, man.
I got a quick scripture for you.
Go ahead, bro.
Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thou way to seek love?
And that's what these niggas was doing, man. You see? You know they were bought and paid for, man, to push this, man. You know? Because you doing all this studying and only and the farthest you can go back is Africa, man. How can this brother have all these books, you know, in this time, you know, and understand that you had Israelites in Africa, but this nigga, he ain't run across no books, you know, that did that, man. They bought and paid for it, man.
Come on.
Go ahead.
One more verse. One more part of it.
Come.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Come. That's what these niggas have done, man. You know, they assist Esau and further and misleading our people, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it says, and he said he wrote to the nation of the world. It said to European leaders appealing to them that to them to struggle against racism, to grant colonies in Africa and the West Indies to the right to self-government and demand political and other rights for African Americans. By this time, southern states were passing new laws and constitutions to defranchise most African Americans and exclusion from political system in the 1960s. At the conclusion of the conference, delegates unanimously adopted the address to the nation of the world and to send it to various heads of state where people of African descent were living and suffering oppression. The address implored the United States and the imperial European nation to acknowledge and protect the people of African descent and to respect the integrity and independence of the free Negroes of Abyssinia, Libya, and Haiti. It was signed by Bishop Alexander Walters, all right, president of Pan-African Association, man. So you had a bunch of coon niggas led by W.E.B. Du Bois, all right, crying to the devil, you know, and proclaiming themselves to be of African descent, man. You know, we was on the landmass of Africa, man. We not descend from no Hamites, man. You know, I got one more scripture. What's that scripture? Our enemy shall be found divided.
Yeah, I guess it's an old favorite right there. That's 33. Last couple of verses, Deuteronomy. I want to say it's the last verse itself. Yep, the last verse itself.
Come. All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 29. It said, happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord, YAHAWASHI, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, man. So it's a blessing to be an Israelite, man.
That's it.
You know, at the end of the day, man, this is beautiful, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it said, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thy enemy shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places, man. So the same way they did our 70 AD, you finna do their whole empire. The America gonna be completely destroyed. The EU gonna be destroyed. The NATO, you know, we finna try it down they high places, man.
You talking about being laid even with the ground? God damn. What the Lord about to do to America? And then see you Edomites in America, you just gonna die over here. We're not gonna have the pleasure of putting you out in slavery first, but we're gonna get the elite themselves first. We're going to get the Rothschilds and the other elite banking families, the hosts of the high ones on high. We're going to get them, all right? And then we're going to get your Edomite counterparts in Europe, all right? So you got the elite banking families, and under them, those other Edomites over in Europe and in Russia, all right? We're going to put them right into slavery, okay? That's what's going to happen, you know? And it's going to be way worse like the brother said, the way we gonna do you is gonna be way worse than what you did to us, because we're gonna pay you back double. Okay? And you brothers just hold fast, man. I mean, Lord willing, this was edifying, and Lord willing, we do get up out of here this year. But once again, that 400-year prophecy, that wasn't talking about now. That wasn't talking about from 1619 to 2019. It wasn't talking about that. Okay? Now, America is spiritually Egypt, but that was not talking about that. That prophecy, the 400 years, us being oppressed, that was talking about ancient Egypt. You know? That's what that was talking about. But we're going to pay Esau back double. And you know, the reason why I brought that up about brothers being patient, because what if, you know, we don't get up out of here in 2019? Are you still going to wait? What if we get up out of here in 2020? But you fell out the truth. So you're not going to be delivered, man. Be patient. You know? Don't hear everything, you know, that's in the world and run with it, man. Being tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. A lot of Jakes don't even believe in the truth. They only believe because they heard of that 400-year prophecy bullshit, man. So what's going to happen if we got to go into 2020? Are you going to still stay in this truth? All right? America going to be destroyed. That's a guarantee. But are you going to wait? Are you going to be patient? You know? And Jacob's trouble is about to happen again. Just like we got in, you know, into this lesson, man. Well, you got any closing statements?
No, that was it, man. You know, well, just, you know, 7 AD is pinnacle, man. You know, to understanding who we are, to understanding the prophecies, you know, and to fully keep up with the timeline, man. Because you can go back from Genesis, you know, in 7 AD, that's where a lot of stuff get broke up and confused, man. You know, so if you understand that, you can link the whole book up, man, and follow the whole narrative of the scriptures, man. You know?
That's right, man. Hey, even the mystery, you know, even the mysteries which have been hid for ages are now being made manifest to us. You know, we got it, man, through the Spirit. The Lord revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. You know? All right, so with that, we want to say Barakatah Yahawah. Barakatah Yahawashi. Barakatah Yahawah. Barakatah Yahawashi. Barakatah Yahawah. Barakatah Yahawashi. Bahasham. Rakah. Kodash. Double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone, still rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.